Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can probably tell, it's been a long time since I actually uploaded on here. I am filming a weekly vlog at the moment, and it's going to kind of be like a week in my life during lockdown, which I thought you might like to see. I'm just giving it a go and we'll see how that turns out, and that's kind of, you know, updating you on how things are going and stuff. So I know this isn't going to be like an update video and like why I've been gone and stuff, but I'll be chatting more about that sort of thing in that vlog. I'm going to try and make it more lighthearted and stuff, because I know that a lot of the time I go to YouTube videos for an escape and from everything that's going on right now, so I want my channel to be the same for other people. So this video is just a big Disney Q&A, just something a bit lighthearted and fun that I thought you might enjoy. I actually took these questions from Gary C's video. He did a really long Disney Q&A, he got loads of people to ask him questions, and I basically took some of those from his video and thought I could answer them myself, because I thought there were some really good questions in there, and also like changed a few of them slightly to suit me, if that makes sense. That's where I got all these questions from, so this is probably going to be a long one, so sit tight and I hope you enjoy, and I'm just going to get straight into it. The first question is, why do you love Disney? And I feel like that's a really hard thing to explain, because I don't really know what it is. I think partly because it's just been with me from like my childhood. Like, I've grown up with Disney, I've grown up being surrounded by Disney, like the films, everything. I have two older sisters and they're obviously into it as well, so that meant I was more into it, and it's basically like all I've ever known, I guess. I genuinely, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just such an amazing thing. Like, there's so many incredible films. Obviously the parks, although I've not been to them all, it's just so special when you are actually there, and also just learning about them and learning about Walt himself. Like, it's just so amazing. Like, the whole Disney company, everything they've created, it's just so special, and it's just like on another level. Like, I don't know how else I'd explain it, but it's just something that's so special, and everyone, like, or so many people have grown up to love. Next question is, what is it about Disney that is so special? And I think it's just a lot of the messages that come across, just that feeling you get when you watch a good Disney film or go to a Disney park, and especially in terms of Disney parks, just how they keep the magic alive for like adults as well. They don't just make it extra special for the kids and then the adults kind of just have to like go along with it. It's just so special for any age, and I just love that. I love that if you're an adult going to Disney, you don't feel out of place. It just feels equally as special as it would for a child. I just love being in that bubble. They just make it feel also real, and like you're in a whole other world. Like, it's just amazing. I could go on forever about why it is so special to me, but there's just so many reasons. It's just amazing. Which soundtrack do you think is the best, and what's your go-to song from that soundtrack? So obviously that's quite a difficult question, because there's so many incredible soundtracks from Disney, but the one that I think is definitely one of the top Disney soundtracks is The Princess and the Frog. It's so good. I just love the style of it. I love every single song. I don't often listen to just one film soundtrack when it comes to Disney. I usually listen to a big Disney playlist and a mixture of the songs, but that is one that I am the most likely to listen to the whole soundtrack of, as well as Moana actually. Moana is one of those as well, but Princess and the Frog is just incredible. And my go-to song, my favourite song was always When We're Human, but I think the two songs that are the most special to me are Almost There and Dig a Little Deeper. Just the message behind them, it's really important to me, and they're two songs from Disney that I find the most motivational. They're the ones I listen to when I need some positive vibes and I want to feel motivated to get things done and, you know, achieve what I want to achieve. They're the sort of songs I'd listen to. It's such a good soundtrack. If you've not heard the soundtrack, please go and listen to it. What is your favourite non-princess Disney film? So that's easy, because it's just my favourite Disney film in general. It is Peter Pan. If you didn't know that, then you probably don't know me or haven't really watched my videos for very long, because yeah, I am obsessed with Peter Pan. It is my absolute favourite Disney film. I just love it. I love Peter Pan. so much. Wendy Darling is one of my favourite characters as well. One of the characters I feel like I would relate the most to, or I would suit the most, if that makes sense. One Disney memory you would love to relive. There's so many I want to relive, like really special, specific moments that happened. But one of them was from Disneyland Paris when I was 17. I went with my mum and my dad and my sister Liv. It was basically when we first got into the park. We got into the park like around the middle of the day, probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's the day we'd flown in. And as we walked around the corner and saw the castle, it was just full of energy. Like everything was just booming, because it wasn't like first thing in the morning, so it wasn't like, I know that is also a special time to go in, but it wasn't that early morning, like seeing it for the first time as people are coming in and it's a little bit quieter. It was just like full of life. And as we walked in, a load of performers came out and started performing down Main Street, and it was just the most perfect time we could have walked in. I hadn't been to a Disney park since I was 4, and that was also Disneyland Paris. So it'd been such a long time, and I'd been desperate to go to a Disney park for so long, just seeing it all. And that was the moment I realised that it was what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to be a performer at Disneyland. And I just remember out of nowhere, just tears. Never before then had I experienced just suddenly, it was like something switched and the waterworks just happened. It wasn't like a gradual thing where I was like, I think I'm gonna cry. It was just like, boom. I was sobbing. But that was such a special moment, and it was like the perfect moment to have walked into the park. Also another special moment, like I could speak about so many, but another moment that is a highlight, which you will have seen in the Disneyland California vlogs, was when we went into the Princess Pavilion and we were just leaving, and then one of the cast members asked if I knew any Camp Rock songs, and I was like, yes, I love Camp Rock. And then he took me back in and we sang a Camp Rock song to Ariel, and she loved it. And that was such a random moment, but something so unique that nobody really gets to experience. So that was quite exciting and really random, but definitely a standout moment. If you could be in any Disney film, what would it be? That is so tricky. Mary Poppins is the first one that springs to mind. That would just be amazing. Like, you know, when they jump into the pictures and it's just also exciting. I don't know, I'd love that. Yeah, Mary Poppins is the first one that came into my head. But of course, I want to be in like every Disney film. It depends as well, like being in a Disney film like as the actress, or like as if it was a real thing, if that makes sense. I'm gonna stick with Mary Poppins. I mean, there's so many I obviously want to be in, but that was the first one that came into my head, so I'm gonna stick with Mary Poppins. The original, not Mary Poppins Returns. What live action would you like to see next? Now, the first thing that I thought of, which I think there's rumours of it actually becoming a live action, is Tangled, because Tangled is my favourite princess film. I love Rapunzel, she's my favourite princess. But then I'm like, would that work? How would they make that work? Like, her hair, like how, like obviously they'd have to CGI most of it, but would it look good? I wouldn't want it to just look a bit crap. Like, I don't know if it'd work, but if they could make it work, that would be amazing. And I'd love to see whoever gets to play the live action Flynn Rider, and I hope they do not disappoint, because Flynn Rider is an absolute babe. I think Brave would be amazing as a live action. Like, that is such an underrated film anyway, so it's probably not likely that they'll ever make that live action because it didn't do as well as a lot of the other films, but Brave would be really cool as a live action. And I guess I can see this happening, but Frozen, that would probably be really good as well. But Tangled would be my first choice if they could make it work, which I think they might be doing, but I don't know. Would you like a UK Disney park? Now, you'd think that my answer would be absolutely 100% yes, no questions asked, not even a second thought, but I don't actually know. Like, of course it'd be great to have a park that was a bit closer to home, but then I don't know if it'd be the same. I really don't know if it'd be the same. And if you think about it, like, Paris is pretty close. Like, it doesn't take long to get to Paris if you think about it. Like, obviously it's expensive to go to a Disney park and stuff, but if it would still be expensive here in the UK, and if it was like, it'd probably be quite far from where I live, so it'd probably cost me a lot in travel anyway. So I don't know, I think it would be cool, but it's just whether it'd work. And to be honest, I don't know if they'd ever do it. I don't know where they'd do it, really. I wouldn't say no, but I don't know if it'd be the same. Do you remember your first ever Disney trip, and how old were you and which park was it? I didn't really say that very well. Do you remember your first ever Disney trip? How old were you and which park did you go to? So yes, I do remember it. I actually remember quite a bit from it, like more than you'd expect, because I was 4 years old when I went to Disneyland Paris. I mentioned that earlier in this video, I think. Yeah, we went to Disneyland Paris as a family and I was only 4, but I do remember a lot of things from it, especially when I went back in 2014, was it? I was 17, and going to certain places, like it was like the memories all came back, even though I was only like so young. Like I weirdly remembered a lot of things, especially Pizza Planet. When I walked into Pizza Planet, I was like, oh my god, I feel like I've just stepped into my childhood. I remembered so many things so well. But that is the first time I went. I was only 4 years old and it was Disneyland Paris. And since then I have been to Disneyland Paris a second time when I was 17, like I said, and also in 2018 I went to Disneyland California. And very soon, maybe not as soon as I think with everything that's going on, but I am booked to go to Disney World in Florida for the first time, which I'm gonna lose it. I'm so excited, but who knows if it will be happening when we have booked for. Don't know if it'll have to change, but we shall see. I'm going to Disney World, basically. What was your favourite Disney trip you've been on? So I obviously have 3 to choose from, and we're going to rule out my first Disney trip because I was only 4 and I can't remember everything. It really depends. Like, Disneyland California was so special because it is the original park, and it is, like, Walt Disney's been there. It is, he was there for it all. He got to create the whole thing, and it was just, it's like his main park. It's the original park. It's in America. I love America. I feel like I can't choose a best one, but I think in terms of Disneyland Paris, like, obviously Disneyland Paris is very special to me as well because it's like where I've auditioned for many times and it's like a dream job for me. And also because we had like 5 days there, it felt like we had plenty of time to do everything. It didn't feel rushed and we got everything done that we wanted to. Whereas in California, we were very lucky to even be there in the first place. I'm not complaining, but obviously because we only had 2 full days there and 1 night in downtown Disney, it was obviously over very quick, and it was like trying to get everything done in that short amount of time. But that was special for other reasons. Doesn't mean it wasn't as good. I can't pick. I just can't pick. Sorry, I ran out of memory on my memory card, so I've just had to sit and delete a load of stuff. But anyway, next question. Where am I? Which new Disney attraction are you most looking forward to? So there's obviously a few things in the works at Disney World, especially at the moment. Like, they're renovating so much of Epcot and there's a few new things coming. The thing I'm probably the most excited for, like, I would say the Mary Poppins area in the UK pavilion, but I'm just worried it's going to be themed to the new Mary Poppins, the Mary Poppins Returns film, and I don't like that film. I like the original and only the original, and Julie Andrews is Mary Poppins in my eyes, and Mary Poppins Returns just wasn't right. That might disappoint me a bit if it is themed more to that film, but maybe it'll just be Mary Poppins in general and it won't be too themed to either. It'll just be, you know, Mary Poppins. So fingers crossed. If that turns out how I would like it to, then that would be, like, if it was definitely aimed and themed towards the original, like I knew for sure, then I would 100% be the most excited for that because Mary Poppins is one of my all-time favourites. But other than that, I would probably say Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and that has already opened. It opened just before the parks closed. I've heard that it is really good. I've avoided any spoilers because I know I'll be going on it soon, hopefully, depending on how long it takes for me to actually be able to go. But if my holiday still goes ahead as planned, I'll be going on it fairly soon, and I'm very excited to go on that because I think it'll be fun, and like I said, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Next is, what is your favourite PhotoPass photo? So that's a tricky one. It'll be one of the ones from California because they're the ones I have all the PhotoPass photos from. It's really tricky because there's so many good ones, but I'll just insert a couple of my absolute favourites. There's one of me and Luke in front of the castle. Well, there's a few of them in front of the castle on our last night there, which is so cute. Then there's one of me and Buzz Lightyear, and I just look like an absolute child, and I just look so happy. I'm stood there with my feet turned in, standing like a child, holding a churro, looking the happiest I've ever looked in my life. And then Another one that I love is the one of me and Luke with Spider-Man. It is one of the coolest photos ever. It's like literally such a cool photo. So they're probably my top 3. I can't pick just one, but they're definitely the top 3. Do you have any plans to visit the Asian parks? And I don't have any like set plans, like I'm not booked to go to any of them. And in the near future, not necessarily, but I definitely plan to go to the other parks. I want to have visited every single Disney park in my lifetime, so definitely something I'm considering. Obviously I want to go to Disney World in Florida first, which is obviously happening, but I do plan to go to those in the future. The one that excites me the most is probably Tokyo Disney, but then Shanghai Disney does look amazing. So yeah, I do plan on going to some of the other parks as well. I don't know when that will happen, probably not for a while, but definitely something I want to do. What is your favourite show you have seen in a Disney park? And your favourite parade you've seen in a Disney park? Tricky one. Favourite parade is an easy answer. Paint the Night Parade. Best parade I've ever seen. That was in Disneyland, California. It was the thing I was the most excited to see when we were going there. When I knew we were going on this trip, that was the thing I was most looking forward to seeing. And it did not disappoint. Most incredible thing I've ever seen. If I know they stopped running it, and I don't know if it's just over the summer that they do it, I don't know, or if it's just gone altogether, but if you ever get a chance to watch Paint the Night Parade, you need to see it. It is the most amazing parade ever. It's so cool. Favourite show is probably going to be Fantasmic. I love Fantasmic. It was one I'd never seen before, and we watched it in California. We weren't necessarily planning on watching it, but we'd watched the Pixar fireworks, and then we realised that we had time to go and watch Fantasmic afterwards as well, and we were like, should we go watch it? And we're like, yeah, why not, let's just go watch it. That like exceeded my expectations. It wasn't one that I was desperate to go and watch. I don't know why, but I just hadn't really thought about it, but it was like, yeah, let's go see it, we've got time. And I absolutely loved it. It was amazing, and I'm really excited to see it in Disney World, because apparently the Disney World version is the best version, so I can test that theory, I suppose. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing that again. But I feel like once I get to Disney World, it's probably going to change to Happily Ever After being my favourite. I've watched the whole thing on YouTube so many times because I never thought I'd ever get to see it. Normally if I know I'm going to get to see something, I'll keep it as a surprise until then, but I just never expected to get to see it. So I've seen that online and I've listened to the soundtrack all the time, and I'm so excited to watch it. That is the main thing for me, going to Disney World. It's the main thing I'm excited for. What is your dream Disney vacation? Honestly, the vacation or the trip that I have booked right now, like everything we have planned, like all our dining reservations we've got and how it's all laid out at the moment. Obviously we haven't booked fast passes yet because we can only book them 60 days in advance, and we have 91 days if that still goes ahead. But other than that, like, this is literally the dream holiday. Like everything we have booked, everything we have planned so far, it's literally an absolute dream. So could not be more perfect already. So I'm very, very excited. If you could create a ride based on a film, what would it be? Again, the first thing I thought of was Tangled, because it'd be really cute to have like the boat ride scene and have like images of like the lanterns and stuff over it. That would be really, really cool. I'd love a Princess and the Frog ride as well. I feel like we need that. Also a Brave ride, but again, that's probably not going to happen because it just didn't do that well. But a ride based on Brave would be really cool. I mean, there's so many things I'd love a ride based on, but they're just a few examples I could think of. Sorry, my bum's going numb. Who are your go-to Disney vloggers / your go-to Disney vlogs? Obviously Adam Hatton and Gary C are up there at the top. Absolutely love watching their videos. And there's so many I watch, but the ones that I watch the most at the moment are those guys. I watch Disney in Detail. Her name's Victoria. I recently got into her videos and I really like her Disney vlogs. She's there a lot, so there's always loads of Disney vlogs to watch. I'd say they're my main ones at the moment. But there are other ones that I obviously watch, but at the moment they're the ones that are uploading the most Disney content regularly. They're the ones that I watch the most. But let me know down below if there's any Disney vloggers you think I should watch. Who knows, I probably already watched them. But yeah, they're the ones that I'm watching the most at the moment. And of course, the go-to vlogs at the moment are Disney World vlogs. They usually are anyway, but more so now that I'm actually going. But I went through a phase of watching a load of Disneyland California vlogs, and Hayes Family Vlog are amazing for Disneyland California vlogs if you want to see any of those. When I was looking for more Disneyland vlogs to watch, when I was getting excited for the holiday, they were the people I found, and their vlogs are brilliant. They're such a lovely family, and yeah, definitely go and check those out. Even if you're not going to Disneyland soon, I'd 100% recommend. If you could have 3 songs played around the parks, what would they be? Oh my god. Oh, that's so tricky. I'd probably have You Can Fly from Peter Pan. That's just such a special song. I love when they play the Up theme tune. I know that that's already a thing that they play in the parks, but that is just such a special song to hear in the parks. I just like the instrumental version of music. So like for You Can Fly, it'd be like an instrumental version, like a piano version, or like a string version. I don't know, like the sort of backing tracks you would hear in a Disney park. And then the third one, When Will My Life Begin from Tangled, that would be really cool. Or just like all the old school like parade songs and show music from the parks, that'd be really cool. So like dancing, a catchy rhythm, singing a happy song, playing together on a holiday. That was not my best singing. If you could ride only one ride for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh my god, that's so difficult. Obviously in terms of the Disney parks, I would want to say Peter Pan's Flight 'cause it's my favourite film, but I don't know if that'd maybe get a bit boring, so probably one of the bigger roller coasters. So Incredicoaster, you know, I think Incredicoaster might be up there because that was amazing. Obviously I haven't been on a lot of rides in Disney World, so my answers could change, but there's obviously Big Thunder Mountain, which is a great one, Space Mountain, oh my god. But at the moment, not having been on a lot of the rides at Disney World yet, I'd maybe say Incredicoaster because that's so cool. Yeah, that's gonna be my answer for now. That will probably change, maybe, who knows. Who is your favourite Disney character? It's Peter Pan. I don't even need to say anymore. I love Peter Pan. Which animal slash sidekick would you choose? Potentially Pascal, not just because Tangled is my favourite, but Pascal would be a really cute sidekick. Although I love Mushu, imagine having Mushu as a sidekick, that would be so much fun. Jiminy Cricket, oh, that would be so cute. If you could be roommates with any character, who would you choose? Maybe Princess Anna, she'd be a lot of fun. Alice, me and Alice could sit and read all the time and it'd be really cute. I don't know, someone like that maybe. Which is your favourite character meet and greet? My favourite characters in general to meet are Chip and Dale because they just are the most fun. But my favourite character meet and greet that I've ever done is, oh, that's a difficult question. The amount of amazing character meet and greets I had in California is unreal. Peter Pan was amazing. That was such a cool moment, like when he ran off with my autograph book and I was having to chase him around the park. That was so cute. And when I told him he was my favourite and he said, "You're my favourite too," and I was like, are you trying to make me cry? The Evil Queen was amazing. That was such a cool meet and greet. Anna and Elsa was amazing. That one was one of the ones that really made me the most emotional. I don't know what it was. I think it was because when we queued up, we were stood in front of the door and they did the little knock from "Do you want to build a snowman?" The woman who was leading us through did the knock and then the door opened and they were just there. Oh god, it was so special. I looked at Luke, I was like, I think I might cry. If you could only meet one character for the rest of your life, who would it be? Again, my first thought would be Peter Pan, you know, he's so much fun. Which character would you like to meet next? So there's a few on my list that I want to meet that I haven't yet, and a few that we have planned for when we go. But next one's probably Flynn Rider, and we are actually booked in to go to the restaurant where you can meet Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. Baymax was also a top one, but of course, just before I go, they get rid of the Baymax meet and greet because they're doing all these renovations to Epcot. Hopefully they bring it back eventually, but I don't think they will. I think now it's gone, I don't think they're going to bring it back because obviously Big Hero 6 came out a while ago and it's not as popular as a lot of the other films, but that was such a cool meet and greet from what I saw online. So that would have been a top one and I was so excited to meet Baymax, but what can you do? Which character liked you the most? So I guess you could say Peter because he said I was his favourite. So, you know, but also my meet and greet with Donald on our last night of Disneyland California was really special. We just had this little connection, and then just before I left, he gave me this really long hug and would not let go, and it was the most amazing thing ever. And for like multiple reasons, like him as a character is very special to me and important to me. I know that sounds really weird out of context, but it's a long story, but it made me really emotional. It was weird how he wanted to hug me so tight and didn't want to let go because of the meaning that character has to me. That was like, okay, this is really strange. It's like it's a sign That doesn't make sense out of context, but I'm not going to go into the reasoning. But yeah, that he just cuddled me and didn't want me to leave, and as I was leaving he was like reaching for me, and I was like, oh my god. Who is your favourite Disney villain? Maybe I'm being a bit biased because I was the evil queen in Panto, but I just feel like she is the best villain, really. She's like the classic villain, and I'd say she's my favourite out of all of them. I actually think she is my favourite. I've not really thought into it that much, but I would say her. If you were a Disney character, who would you be? I'd probably say Piglet, because I'm filled with anxiety, so that would be an obvious choice. But other than that, it'd probably be someone like, you know, like Princess Anna or Wendy or Alice. If there was a musical about your life, which character would play you? Similarly, probably Wendy, Alice, or Princess Anna, or maybe even Rapunzel. I'd probably go with Alice, looks wise, and also kind of similar in a way. Which characters do you wish were in the parks more? Baymax again, but he's gone. He's long gone. I know Wendy is around quite a bit, but I wish she was around more. Definitely Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Cricket is one that I wish he was around more. Like, you often see him in some of the like parades and stuff, but he's not really around a lot. I love Jiminy Cricket. That would be really cute. Basically just any characters that aren't around much, I want them around more. Flynn Rider's an example. He's not out that much really at all around the parks that I'm aware of, so he'd definitely be one. Which character would you choose to represent the 5 emotions from Inside Out? I love this question. Fear, instantly I thought of Rex. My battery is dying, so I may have to swap over in a second, but fear would be Rex. Joy, probably Princess Anna, because she is like so excitable and fun. Anger, I know this is random, but maybe Mr. Potato Head. I feel like he can get quite angry a lot. Or I guess one of the villains, maybe like the Evil Queen or Ursula or someone like that. Or Maleficent. Maleficent would maybe be a good one for that. There's so many I could think of. I think if I thought more into this, I could think of some other answers too. Disgust would, ooh, maybe be Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph. I feel like I know she's quite like fun, but like especially towards the start when you meet her, I feel like she'd come across more as disgust. Or maybe Meg from Hercules, because of the sass. I feel like she'd be a very good disgust. And then sadness, I mean, Eeyore is an obvious choice. Let me know what characters you would put as each emotion down in the comments below. I would love to see your thoughts, if you agree with some of mine, or if you have any other good ideas for different characters as different emotions. But I think Rex would be so funny as Fear, because he's just always stressed. It's a bit like me really. He's always like freaking out, isn't he? So I just think that'd be really funny. Sounds like Mom's just broken something in the kitchen. If you could get a tattoo of any character, who would it be? Now, I think tattoos are really cool, but I just wouldn't really be able to do it with the career path I want to go down and the career path I'm on now. Like, it's just not something that I could do, and I don't know if I ever would anyway, just out of fear basically. But if it was any Disney character, I mean, it's probably going to be Peter Pan. Like, I love the tattoos of like the silhouettes of Peter and Wendy and John and Michael flying through the sky. I love those. And or maybe like a Mary Poppins one. It'd have to be like one of my top favourites. What is your favourite attraction in Disneyland Paris? I guess Thunder Mountain. Oh, Rock and Roller Coaster. I know that they're getting rid of that, but Rock and Roller Coaster was amazing when I went on that. I absolutely loved that. What is your funniest Disney memory? One of the funniest ones was when I met Chip and Dale when I went in 2014, and I was about to have a photo with them, and then I realised I hadn't put my ears on, so I was like, oh, let me put my ears on. And then I can't remember which one I was stood next to. I'd have to look back on the pictures and remember, but he kept knocking my ears over my face, and the pictures are so good. Like, they're some of my favourite photos I've ever gotten at a Disney park, because we're like really laughing and my ears in front of my eyes, and then like they're giggling. It's so cute. That was really funny. Another funny one was when we met Daisy in California. She was our first character meet and greet of the holiday, and she took a liking to Luke and walked off with him, and they went off together, and it was so funny. And the cast member, there was a couple of cast members looking after Daisy, but one of them, he was just so funny, and the other cast member was filming the experience for me. She panned the camera to him and he like freaked out, and he was really funny. Honestly, the cast members just make the trip. Like, they are the people that make it so special. Like, obviously they are, but like some of my best memories are from the cast members. So which Disney World Deluxe resort would you like to stay in the most? It would be Animal Kingdom Lodge, purely because I love animals, and imagine going onto your balcony and there just being a giraffe outside your room. Like, that's so cool. Like, I love that, and that would automatically be my first choice. Like, that one appeals to me the most, especially when you're paying so much money. You'd want, like, that would feel more worth it. Like, I know the other hotels are amazing and like the perks and stuff are still amazing and obviously worth it, but that one more so for that kind of experience would be amazing. And the hotel just looks incredible. Like, the theming, the design is just top notch. So I would 100%, if I ever got the chance to stay in a deluxe resort, don't think that's ever going to happen, but if for some reason I was told you can stay in a deluxe resort, which one do you want to stay in, I would automatically be like, Animal Kingdom Lodge. Which job role would you choose if you could work for Disney? Now, I think this is an obvious one because I talk about it all the time, but I would want to be a character and parade performer, and it's something that may still happen in the future, and I'm not going to give up on completely because it's an absolute dream and it would be so cool. But I feel like I didn't even need to answer that question and most of you would have known the answer. Would you ever go on a Disney cruise? Absolutely. I was never really sure before. Like, I just thought it looked a bit boring. Like, it wasn't as well, like, it wasn't as full on Disney as the park, so I was like, nah, I don't know if I'd bother. So it wouldn't be like a first choice for me still. Like, I would choose to go to Disney World first, but if I ever like got enough money, saved up enough money to go, and I'd been to the other parks and I felt like I wanted to go, like, I definitely would, because I've seen vlogs from it and it actually looks so good. Like, it's definitely not as in your face Disney as a Disney park, and it is more like an adults kind of thing. I think it is more for adults. Like, there is kids stuff, but I think it suits adults better. I think it would be really cool to do, and I definitely want to do it at some point, but it wouldn't be like a first choice because I just love being in the parks. Okay, we're on our last 2 questions now. We're nearly there. I know this is long, but maybe I can make it to the end without my battery dying. Let's see. Do you have Disney Plus? Yes, I do, and I flipping love it already. I've been watching loads of Hannah Montana. My battery died. I almost made it to the end, but not quite. Anyway, yeah, I've been watching loads of stuff. High School Musical, the series. I was thinking of doing a video of like all my favourites on there and all the things I'm planning to watch, but I don't know if that'd be very exciting. I don't know if that'd be a very good video or not. I don't know if you'd like that. I'm kind of just saying it in this video anyway. I don't really know. Like, I've seen other people's, which I think are good, and maybe in the future I'll make one, but right now I don't know. I don't know if it'd be a good video for me. Like, I don't know if I'd have much to say. Like, I'm loving it. I'm just gonna start watching all of like some of my old favourites, like all the Disney Channel stuff that's on there. But yeah, I'm loving the Imagineering story. I'm loving High School Musical, the series. Pixar in real life is hilarious, but yeah, I definitely recommend getting Disney Plus. Even if, like, because there's so much on there. Like, there's also Star Wars, if you're a fan of Star Wars, like all of that's on there. Marvel, and there's also National Geographic if you're into that sort of thing. I'm definitely going to watch some stuff on there because I'm a bit of a nerd and I love it. My final question, I realise I did not prepare for. It is, what is your favourite Disney pin and how many do you own? So I've just got them in front of me. I've got some pins that are non-Disney, but also like all of my Disney ones. I don't have that many, I'm not going to lie to you. And I would love to do a pin collection video, but I just don't have that many. But when I go to Disney World, I plan on buying some more, and I do want to collect them. I want to get one of the pin collector books so that I can keep them nice and safe, because at the moment they're all just piled up in my cupboard. But I was going to show you all my Disney ones I have, but then obviously I want to do a pin collection in the future. I'll show you very briefly, I won't go into detail, but I've got the Disney Wisdom ones, the Fairy Godmother collection. Then I've got the Snow White collection, the Evil Queen collection, should I say, from the Disney store. So they're both Disney store ones. I have a Peter Pan one that I bought from Disneyland Paris in 2017. This is definitely one of my favourites, for obvious reasons. I know this technically isn't from a Disney park, but I have an Adam Hatton pin. I guess that kind of counts. I have this Disneyland Paris one that I got brought by my mum's friend, which spins as well. They're all still in the packets because I want to display them properly in like a book or something like that, so I can look through them a lot and keep them nice and safe. But I got given this by someone so long ago. Like, I didn't buy this. I can't even remember who gave it me and when and why they gave it me, but it's Huey. My favourite Disney pin that I own at the moment, again, this might change because I'll probably get loads more when I go to Florida, is this one that I bought from Disneyland California. Again, I wanted to buy more while I was there, but because there was just, we'd only had a couple of days, and like I wanted to get all like the rides and the character meet and greets done, so I didn't get as much chance to do as much shopping. But I mean, the fact that I was even there I'm grateful for. But I wanted to get a pin to commemorate the trip, so I got this classic Disneyland one, so it looks like the retro sign. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So this one is my favourite at the moment because it reminds me of California, and I think that's like a really special one. So when I go to Florida, I want to get one for the hotel we're staying at, which is Coronado Springs, and then some from like my favourite character interactions throughout the trip, and like specific rides maybe, or just certain memories, or just ones that I like the look of. So I plan on getting a few. I need to be careful because I can't really go overboard because I've got to try and get it all back and not have my case be too over the limit, but it's gonna be hard not to buy everything. But yeah, that's my favourite. And let me know in the future if you'd like me to do a full pin collection once I have enough to do a proper pin collection, because I don't really have enough to do that at the moment. But it will mainly be Disney pins, but then I also have some non-Disney pins that I could show you as well. And I don't know, I thought that might be quite interesting. But that is the end of this video, and I realised that this is a really long video, but I knew that that was going to be the case when I filmed it. I just wanted to do a long video all about Disney, just to bring some light into the world for now. Like, you know, just film something a bit more positive and fun. It's something that got me excited when I was watching Gary's video. I was like, oh, this would be so much fun to film. This is like, because I've lost a lot of my motivation for YouTube with everything that's going on, just because I'm so stressed and overwhelmed. But it got me really excited and I wanted to answer those questions, so I just thought, I've got to do this, and it'll just make me feel fun and it'll keep my mind off things. It'll make me feel fun. I don't know, I'll just have fun filming it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy watching it. And yeah, let me know if you did enjoy it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, if people still do that. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And also remember to comment which characters you would put as each emotion from Inside Out, because I think that is such a good question. Yeah, let me know down below because that would be fun, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.